Okay, Mishi, I'm recording now.
Great. So we're recording. So I'm Mishi. That is Marie. And we have a particularly international call going on here from Berlin, Amsterdam. And where are you in Brazil exactly, Maya and Isabel?
De Porto Alegre, Rio Grande do Sul.
She's speaking from the south of Brazil in Porto Alegre, which is the capital of Rio Grande do Sul, one of the Brazilian states.
I've never been to Porto Alegre, Brazil. It's a large city way down south near Uruguay. The metropolitan area has a population of about 4.5 million people. So basically half of Israel.
Can you guys hear us? I think you may be muted yourself.
5 different rivers converge at Porto Alegre, making it an important port and center of industry and commerce.
So it doesn't seem as if you're muted, Maya, but for some reason we're not hearing you. Maybe when you put in the earphones?
The name means joyful harbor, which sounds very nice. Even though in 2017 it was ranked as the world's 39th most violent city, with 1,748 homicides.
You can hear me?
Now, yes.
Yeah, so it's probably the headphones.
Yes.
There are no direct flights from Porto Alegre to Tel Aviv. But if there were, the plane would have to fly more than 7,000 miles.
I just gonna try again.
Okay.
So why, you might be wondering, is Porto Alegre opening the final coda of our Alone Together series? Well, it's because it's where Maya's mom, 54-year-old Isabel Christina de Oliveira, lives. And who is Isabel?
Meu nome é Isabel. Eu sou professora da rede pública, né?
So Isabel just said that she's a teacher working in the public service, and she also said that she worked as a supervisor in the school.
Back in early March, Isabel traveled to Italy. And unbeknownst to her, in Bergamo, she contracted the virus. When she returned home to Brazil, she went about her business as usual, shopping, seeing friends. She was even about to go back to school to teach. Then she started to feel sick.
Já estava me sentindo ruim assim, só que eu achei que era cansaço.
She started to feel some symptoms. She was feeling really tired.
Madrugada assim com...
She and her daughter Maya reported it to the local health authorities, who basically ignored her.
Eu falei com a Maiara, eu disse, eu vou ligar para a vigilância sanitária.
They called a second time, nothing. They called a third time. And then Maya, her daughter, said that she was a teacher and that she was coming back to school within a few days to teach children. And then they kind of said, oh, well, we might want to pay attention to this case.
Conseguimos a atenção deles.
Isabel finally got tested.
Fazer o teste, né? Fazer o teste do Covid em mim.
And the results came back positive.
E ligaram dizendo que tinha dado positivo pro Covid.
She was the first COVID-19 patient in Porto Alegre. Even though she immediately went into quarantine, she was publicly shamed and blamed. People on social media were vicious.
Foi para Facebook e daí ali começaram assim.
And on Facebook especially, as she says, the main narrative they were trying to spread is that they were rich people coming from Europe to Brazil to disseminate the disease, and that poor people in Brazil, for example, who don't have access to private health insurance would be the most affected by these rich people that are going to Europe.
Né? Porque eu podia ter ficado quieta e vida normal, porque...
Isabel felt guilty.
Minha preocupação com os outros, né?
Her mind kept going back to those people that she had contact with, and she couldn't even begin to know exactly where she went or how to find those people. She felt responsible for them as well.
At the same time, she also felt misunderstood. She hadn't done anything wrong. At least not anything malicious.
Eu não queria estar passando isso para ninguém.
She felt really judged by everyone else, and she even cried when she read the Facebook comments and posts on her case.
Eu queria estar disseminando isso, né?
Maya's close friend from university is a Brazilian journalist called Giovanna Fleck. She's the one translating Isabel's answers.
So my name is Giovanna Fleck. And right now I'm talking from Amsterdam, where I'm currently doing my master's. Should I say something else? Should I
all great.
add more? Okay, good.
This summer, Giovanna went home to Brazil, mid-pandemic.
And then I was kind of reconnecting with friends and talking with friends, like trying to get a sense of what was going on in Brazil and how were things for everyone.
She met up with her good friend Maya.
So we were just catching up, and she told me about her mother, who was the first patient from our region diagnosed with COVID. And in that same week, when Maya told me that story and when I actually got to talk to Isabel about it, I listened to one of the Alone Together episodes on the podcast. I started to listen to Israel's story like not long ago. And then I listened to Roni's story. Am I saying his name right? Okay. So I listened to Roni's story and I was like, oh my God, these are the same emotions that Isabel just shared with me over our call. These are the same things that Maya was telling me.
Roni's story, in case you don't remember, was the story of patient number 7 in Israel, Roni Bargil from Migdal HaEmek. It's in episode 52, in the beginning. Here's a little clip from that story.
Roni knew he would be on the news soon too. And indeed, before long, reports surfaced of another unnamed individual who might have spread this terrible virus.
הגיע בטיסת EasyJet 4849 שנחתה ב-22 בפברואר.
עולה השביעי ממגדל העמק, שגם פרסם...
תושב מגדל העמק הוא אחד משבעת הקורונאים.
Patient number 7. Him. As he watched, he felt
guilty with myself, so I had to apologize. I felt that I have to apologize to people, and I said there is no other choice for me but exposing myself.
And so, after trying as best he could to reconstruct his steps for the authorities, he decided to address his internal sense of guilt. How do you say sorry for unknowingly spreading a deathly disease? He got his phone, went on Facebook, and started typing.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to share with you that on Saturday, I came back from a trip with my family in Italy, in Naples.
He explained that he had tested positive for corona, but could not remember all the places he had been.
So I want to say to everybody that it was me. Do not try to speculate, it's me. And I was in touch with many people since we came from Naples. And we are very sorry if we have hurt anyone, because it was not on purpose and we did not know. And it's very difficult for me. And when I'm writing this now, I will not lie, asking from everyone to take things in the right proportions. Thank you very much. That's it. That's what I wrote.
What did you mean at the end when you said you're asking people to take it in the right proportions?
Not to blame us. I'm a very good person. I'm not a bad person, so it's not easy to be criticized by people. I could not remember where I've been all those days.
He took a big breath and pressed post.
I just thought, oh my God, I need to share that with them. I need to show Maya that. I need to make them realize that Isabel is not the only one feeling like that. And especially regarding social media, you know, and how people got to know her story without knowing her, and then assuming a lot of things about her story. Something kind of what happened to Roni in some levels as well.
Giovanna sent Maya a voice message.
Like very excited, like, oh my God, I just listened to this. It's like mind-blowing because it's happening across the world.
Maya, do you still have that audio message?
I think I have.
Oi, Maya, tudo bem? E eu me deparei, guria, com episódio de podcast sobre Israel.
Because I remember Giovanna's very excited. She's, oh Maya, you need to listen to this podcast because it's the same history of your mom. The person feel very bad because he bring the COVID, and the same is very similar with my mom's story.
Um dos primeiros diagnosticados viveram.
Except that Isabel doesn't speak English and couldn't understand the episode. But Giovanna and Maya did their best to translate and summarize.
Olha, eu achei, o que eu pensei assim.
So she said that as soon as she understood that it was a story similar to hers, she immediately thought that, oh, so this didn't only happen to me, this happened with someone really far away from me. and she felt that it was important to connect those stories.
Eu achei importante até fazer essa ligação, sabe?
And just to clarify, you and Maya and Isabel, none of you are Jewish, right?
No.
Okay, and have any of you ever been to Israel?
No. Also no. I mean, let me just check. Maya, vocês já foram para Israel?
Em Israel, né?
No, we never have been in Israel.
Okay, no.
I asked Isabel what she would say to Roni if she had a chance to talk to him.
Isabel, se tu pudesse dizer uma coisa para esse outro homem em Israel que mora numa cidadezinha e que teve uma experiência parecida com a tua, o que tu diria?
Como eu me sinto. Eu logo me senti, né? Que eu soube, que eu estava.
And then, as Isabel was answering, we magically transformed into the podcast version of Oprah, or Jerry Springer. There was no surprise guest rushing through the curtains and taking a seat on stage. Instead, on cue, a new little square appeared on our Zoom window.
So on almost perfect timing, Roni, Isabel, Roni.
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Hey, I'm Mishy Harman, and this is Israel Story. Back in June, we started our Alone Together miniseries with the story of Yair Baich, the Chabad rabbi in Cyprus, who desperately tried to circumcise his newborn son Elimelech at the start of the pandemic. And from that beginning of life tale, our journey has taken us in all kinds of directions and introduced us to different people dealing with COVID in different ways. We've celebrated lockdown birthdays and weddings. We've met nurses and patients. We've explored the Haredi, or ultra-Orthodox, experience of combating both a virus and widespread discrimination. We visited animal shelters, corona hotels, hectic ERs, Homefront Command platoons. And we closed our last episode about death during COVID with a piece which in many ways was the counterpoint to the Bris saga with which we started. A collage of Jews, Muslims, and Christians, all figuring out how to say goodbye to their loved ones in the midst of the pandemic. While COVID is sadly far from being behind us, as I record this, Israel is about to enter yet another, second countrywide lockdown. Starting next episode, we're going to move on to the rest of our season, with stories that, gasp, have little to do with the virus. But before we end this series, and just in time for Aseret Yemei Tshuva, the days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, the Jewish high holidays, we want to ask for your help. These have been extremely challenging times for the entire world, of course, but also for us here at Israel Story. Our annual live show tour, which accounts for about a third of our budget, was obviously canceled. Our producers have been quarantined with little kids at home. It's been difficult and sometimes impossible to conduct interviews. The easiest decision would have been to put our operation on hold and furlough the staff. That's what many other media and cultural organizations in Israel did. But we decided to go the other way, to double down, to work as hard as we could, to be as present as possible during these hard times. We produced Israelpalooza, a 12-hour-long Zoom celebration on Israel's Independence Day that attracted about 10,000 people. We put on weekly live events on our members-only Facebook community. We hosted countless Zoom sessions for congregations and communities around the world. We just unveiled our beautiful brand new logo, which will be followed next month with a beautiful brand new website. And most importantly, we pivoted our entire season plan and created Alone Together, a 7-part miniseries about Israel in times of Corona. As you all know, our content is very expensive to produce and totally free to consume. The only way we can continue this season, the only way we can continue our whole operation, to be honest, is with your help. We did our absolute best to be there for you during this period, and we really hope you'll be there for us now that we need you. So if you believe in what we do, if Israel Story adds something to your life, If you feel that we capture unique aspects of this crazy little country called Israel, please go to our site, israelstory.org, and press the red Support Us button. There are a bunch of different ways to give, and what helps us most of all is if you choose to become a monthly contributor. An extremely generous donor will match the first $10,000 we receive, so your gift will be doubled. You are the Israel Story family, and we rely on your ongoing support to keep our show alive. So as we usher in a new year, I really hope you open your hearts and make your donation today. Thank you and toda. Okay, and now back to our international Zoom call, in which through multiple interpreters, Roni and Isabel started exchanging memories.
When I was in solitary, I think like her, I did care for all the people around me. I felt guilty because it was the beginning of all this epidemic, so no one knew anything. I felt very bad with myself, like I did something wrong, even though I didn't do anything wrong. For me, it was an emotional experience.
Eu penso que ele foi muito corajoso, muito mais corajoso que eu.
So Roni, she wants to tell you that she thinks that you are really brave, and she thinks that you are braver than her.
You should tell her that the confusion that's going on in every place in the world should not get into her, because she's only a victim, and she should feel like a victim. She's not responsible for nothing. Even though she did this and that, no one could know what to do. No one knew what to do. The authorities didn't know what to do. No one really knew what was happening. No one.
Ele sente por ti, porque ele...
So I really feel for her, because I really know how she feels. I was there exactly in the same place she was, and it's terrifying to be judged by other people, especially when you did nothing wrong. And I'm sure she did nothing wrong. I'm sure about it.
Ser julgado pelos outros, principalmente quando tu não fez nada de errado.
So it was not easy to be in our place. I just wish her the best, and she should know that she have something like a brother in Israel that feels exactly like her, and she should feel good with herself. She should. And thank you very much for the kind words she said about me, because she don't know me, but it seems like we are the same, me and her.
Parece que vocês têm são as mesmas pessoas.
Thank you.
Muito obrigada.
As Roni spoke and Maya and Giovanna translated, Isabel started to cry.
למה היא בוכה, מסכנה?
למה?
מרגש אותה.
My mom, she gets very emotional now.
Fiquei muito sensibilizada porque eu achei que ele foi muito mais corajoso mesmo, como eu te disse, como eu, né?
So she said that she felt really emotional about everything that you said, that kind of resonated a lot with the guilt she was feeling.
Mas me sinto acolhida por ele e espero que ele se sinta acolhido por mim também.
But she said that your words brought a lot of relief to her as well. And she also said that she felt really embraced by your words and by what you said. And she hopes that you feel embraced by her story as well. Because accordingly to her, you both are kind of brothers of situation or even brothers of soul that connected with such a distance. And virtually, but she says that she doesn't feel like she only knows you virtually. She says that she feels like she knows you more.
By now, Roni had tears in his eyes as well.
Emotion have no language.
Emoção não tem linguagem.
So I really felt everything she said, even though it was in another language. For me, the most important thing to say is to give her the support and to take the support from her. That's what was all about this conversation for me. That she will know and I will know that we are not alone. That's it.
You can't see because it's a podcast, but Roni and Isabel are both making a heart with their fingers.
Even though all this was happening on Zoom, I could tell that Giovanna in Amsterdam was deeply moved as well.
I'm sorry for being a little bit too emotional. I'm literally shaking right now and I'm having goosebumps.
Estava fazendo a pergunta, eu estava mais ou menos pensando sobre isso, porque acho que eu não sei, não entendo inglês, mas achei que era alguma coisa nesse sentido.
She said that this whole experience made her stronger and that she feels stronger now than from the beginning of the call. She also says that where she lives, many people are ashamed or fearful of saying that they might have the disease or taking a test, and that she finds quite surprising that she had to connect with someone from Israel, exactly in the other side of the world, to share a similar experience that probably is happening like to her neighbor or to people that are really close to her, but she just doesn't know because of all of that hate building up and the fear where she lives.
Feelings are global. This is something I really believe in, and distance is not a factor because what I felt and what she felt is the same, and we can unite by these feelings. Only talking about our feelings makes us feel better. It makes me feel better also today.
Vocês não se vendo.
And she can understand me more than everyone else, even in my country.
Te entende, e ele diz que tu entende ele te entende, mais qualquer outra pessoa no teu país, por exemplo.
This is not something I have every day here in Israel. So many months I haven't spoke about my feelings, and now I did it with someone that really can understand me, and I really feel good about it. And if she feels the same, so I will sleep good tonight.
I feel like Roni, I'm gonna sleep well tonight.
Eu também senti a mesma coisa, assim, que pelo menos pela primeira vez...
So she was just saying before that she hopes she got to visit Israel, but also that this exchange of emotions was something very healing for her as well.
Likewise.
Finally, she feels that she is not hiding anymore.
Tem medo de dizer que estão com Covid.
Because around her, so many people are hiding, and this is so concealed in society.
Just to see her eyes and to see the emotions going out from her, this is the most important thing for me. So
isso é o mais importante para ele.
Wonderful. Well, guys, thank you all so much for sharing, and I've been with tears in my eyes just listening to you this whole time.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
E ela disse, muito obrigada.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Obrigada.
Obrigada, gente. Obrigada de coração.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording now.
Okay. Yeah, me too.
Stories, dear friends, matter. They make a difference. They connect us through time and space to each other. This series was about COVID in Israel, but for Isabel it was about COVID in Porto Alegre. And I hope that for each and every one of you, wherever it is you're listening, this series was also about something in your life, something you could relate to during these difficult times. And now, as Alone Together comes to its end, please help us continue this magical storytelling journey of ours, one that highlights a small country and its people. The Israel we try to explore is diverse and complicated. It's heartfelt, strange, interesting, and most of all, it's real. Your support isn't just a wonderful show of appreciation for what we do here at Israel Story. It's a vital part of our operating budget. Trust me, we literally can't do this without you. So please take a moment, go to our site, israelstory.org, press that red Support Us button, and donate. It's that simple. Donations are tax deductible, and since our show is independent, when you support Israel Story, you're supporting us directly. People like you who care about Israel and care about storytelling are the reason that Israel Story exists. So thank you. We'll be back in a few weeks with the second half of the season. Till then, you can binge all our previous episodes wherever you get your podcasts. You can follow us on social media under Israel Story, and you can sign up for our newsletter. A big thanks to Giovanna Fleck, who brought Israel Story to Isabel, and Isabel to us. Thanks also to Wayne Hoffman, Sheila Lambert, Erica Frederick, Jeff Faig, and Joy Levitt. Joel Shupak scored this episode with music from Blue Dot Sessions. As always, Sela Weisblum created the mix. Israel Story is produced in partnership with Tablet Magazine. Our staff is Yochai Meital, Zev Levi, Joel Shupak, Yoshi Fields, Skylar Inman, Sharon Rappaport, and Rotem Tzin. Jeff Umbro from The Podglomerate is our marketing director. Abby Adler, Carly Rubin, and Marie Ruder are our wonderful production interns. This was Abby and Carly's last episode with us, and we can't wait to see all the amazing things you'll both do next. We also extend a warm welcome to our new cohort of interns, Clara Fug, Michael Vivier, and Alicia Vergara. I'm Mishi Harman, and we'll be back soon with new and wonderful Israel Story episodes. So till then, from myself and the entire team, Shana Tova u'metuka, have a sweet and good new year. Shalom shalom, and yalla bye.
כל שנה הדרך מתפתלת, מתפזרות כל התשובות. בכל פעם שנפתח הדלת חוזרות השאלות. בלילות קורא לי קול, אולי לשנות. בימים קורא לי קול, פשוט לנסות. כבר שנים קורא לי קול, אל תפחד ליפול, השנה אני יכול. כל שנה נושאת אותי הרוח, כמו מי נהר לים רחב. בכל פעם שהלב פתוח, זה הזמן עכשיו. בלילות